I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Good morning, everyone. It's April 26, 2018. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? Alright, so I have a new channel up I'm going to use for live streaming. It's called Anti-Authoritarian. I will leave the link in one of these videos, perhaps this one, I'm not sure. But the purpose I have for this new channel is more or less exclusively for live streaming. I try to get people to join me in conversation or argument and say a lot of controversial things, piss a lot of people off, so I'm not going to have it connected to my main account. Anyway, Kanye West, and I know this motherfucker is being covered ad nauseum, but let's take a look at it. And this comes from Tom Longo, or Lungo, something like that. The culture war is over and the Marxists lost. Okay, let's assume for a moment that that is true. The culture war is over. Don't you think it's more likely that the Marxists are going to lash out in a violent way instead of accepting defeat? I mean, they haven't accepted defeat when it comes to the election, so what makes you think they're going to accept the defeat of their culture war? They were always going to lose, because cultural Marxism cannot sustain itself without feeding off of other people's wealth. It's a parasitic ideology that first consumes the host, then drives it mad to destroy everyone else. After the 2016 election of Donald Trump, when Kanye West and his famous meltdown on stage and walked off during a show, it was a pivotal moment. Many saw an infant terrible throwing... I butchered that fucking sentence. Many saw an infant terrible throwing a tantrum and crying for attention, but I didn't. I heard a man whose worldview was in flux and causing him real pain. The kind of pain that changes a man. It's a moment when you look at what you've built and see it for what it is. In Kanye's case, it wasn't his art that was the problem, it was the reaction to it. The system supporting it. Yeah, I mean, if the system supports you, you're probably doing something wrong. Okay? Now, I know I hit a nerve with my videos concerning Parkland, and as a result of my hitting that nerve, my channel got suspended. That's when you know. When they start trying to drive you down, that's when you know you're onto something. He saw the politics and structure of the music industry rightly as just another mechanism of social control. He railed against radio, MTV, and the rest of the distribution system. He saw his place within it, how it was driving artists and his fans apart to bicker and argue while the real power lay with those controlling and stoking the conflicts, and he torched it willingly with an almost hyper self-awareness. Fast forward to this week when Kanye emerges from his personal 40 days in the desert and tweets out, as Scott Adams said, 7 words that changed everything. I love the way Candace Owens thinks. Now, I'm not sure, but I think Candace Owens is a person who is involved with a startup that is very intrusive to your privacy. I'm going to have to look her up again and make sure that's the right person, but if that's the case, then I will do a full video about it. I think I did do a video about Candace Owens on my suspended channel, but those videos are gone now, so if I did, I'm going to have to do another one. Scott's right about that. I'm not sure about his whole Golden Age thing, but I am sure that Kanye West paid his promise to his fans that he pissed off in November of 2016 that he would be a change agent, that he wasn't going to go along to get along, stay quiet, be a good boy, and reap the benefits of the system he saw as corrupt and corrupting. Like Kanye or hate him, in this moment, you have to respect him. What he did this week goes far beyond red pilling a large swath of American black community about how the Democrats take them for granted, use them for their purposes. What he did was throw the entirety of cultural Marxism into the ash bin of history. He just took a massive dump on the entire canon of identity politics. And then he lit it on fire and threw it on the gatekeepers of culture's front door. Actions over intentions. I don't know how much of Kanye's original rant was calculated performance art, but I don't care. As an economist, I've trained myself to disperse with such nonsense, because you don't measure a man by his intentions, you measure him by his actions. This is one of the fundamental issues of identity politics and Marxism, the instance that intentions are more important than consequences. Cultural Marxists wrap themselves in the moral high ground, stating their intentions are noble and selfless. But should be they are putting the community themselves while denigrating those honest enough to admit that they act for themselves first and the community second. And this is their defense mechanism for deflecting criticism when their plans fail. At least our intentions were pure. You know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. If somebody says they want to help you and they have great intentions, get them the fuck away from you. Anyway, I'm not going to hit this whole article, but I will hit this. It's not my fault. This is why the cultural war is over. It'll take some time, but this period of history is the culmination of more than 100 years of Marxism as the dominant political ideology. Their long march through the institutions is complete just in time to see all these institutions fail. They aren't failing all at once. A pension system here, a small county's hyperinflation there, but they are failing. Why? Because central planning in all of its form is beset with what Hayek called the knowledge problem. In short, it is that the most important knowledge, that of time, place, most relevant to individual actions, is unknowable to the central planner, and that propagates errors in policy, which ultimately is capital destructive. So, cultural Marxism is, like all collective ideologies, utopian. By divorcing institutions from, I said institutions, by divorcing intentions from consequences, it is not only insulates itself from criticism, but sells itself as a path to higher plane of spirituality, which it can't deliver. So, and it's kind of a trip to hear shit like this coming out of Connie's mouth, but InfoWars, Mark Dice now, a few others, they, I don't know, they're overselling it. I don't believe the war is over by any stretch of the imagination. Again, these people lost the election, and they're still at it. So they may be doomed to failure. That's not really the issue. The issue is, when is it going to be time for violence? That I do believe once a culture war is lost, then the next step in the push for these ideologies is to implement violent tactics. So, I hope you're ready, because I am. Hope everyone has a great day. Remember, kill the state before the state kills you.